It's a total team effort for the Raptors in a season opening win over the Atlanta Hawks. Hey everyone, welcome to Inside The Raptors. Rob Wong joined alongside by Toronto Sun NBA and Raptors writer Ryan Wolstat. And about as good as you could have drawn it up for the Raptors, Ryan, in their first game of the season. 138-118 over the Atlanta Hawks. Brandon Ingram, of course, hasn't made his regular season debut for the Raptors until just now. Looked pretty good in the preseason. I know it's just one game, but what did you make of his first foray as a Toronto Raptor?
Yeah, Rob, as you said, a really very good start for the Raptors. Very unexpected for a team that's really struggled to score the last few seasons to come out like that. And Ingram was interesting. He looked pretty good. The stats weren't quite as good, maybe the efficiency as what we've seen in the preseason. But it's just such a nice thing for the Raptors to have a guy who can just get whatever shot he wants, can score whenever he wants, any time of the game, just kind of effortlessly. Just he makes the game easy and he makes it easier for everyone else. And it has been a long time since they had a guy like that, like arguably since Kawhi, because I mean, as good as Pascal Siakam is, that's he's not as efficient as a guy like that. He's not as deadly. He's obviously not the shooter a guy like that is, and neither is Scotty Barnes. So to have that weapon is just huge. It was interesting. He only took 2 3-point shots because I know that was a point of emphasis in the preseason. He was getting up a ton. He was hoping to get up 7 or 8 a game. So I wonder where that's going to go. The Raptors as a team barely shot any, barely made any. They only made 6. That's kind of funny. Like that would have been their second lowest total all last season. It's interesting. Maybe they just don't need to shoot as many threes the way they're built as other teams, because I just looked it up, and out of their 6 games last year where they made their fewest 3-pointers, they actually won 3 of them, which is kind of weird. So they're a team, and I mean that gets to Scotty Barnes, who just kind of did everything but take outside shots, and that's what really turned around his preseason. If he's going to be a guy that attacks and just goes inside and just punishes teams, that's when the Raptors are going to be good, and that's what we saw in Game 1 in Atlanta.
Yeah, it's interesting when Brandon Ingram was acquired. I think a lot of people wondered how he would fit into this mix with the likes of Scotty Barnes and, of course, RJ Barrett. It's only been one regular season game, Ryan, but it doesn't look like it's been much of an issue so far here. I mean, Barrett leading the way last night, 25 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Ingram looking for him at times, of course, on offense. So there does seem to be a little bit of chemistry there. What did you make of RJ and how he fits into this puzzle?
He was fantastic. I mean, I think he's probably one of the bigger question marks just because of his contract status. Like, is he going to be traded? Like, they didn't extend him, so now they have to wait on that. How does he fit a guy who's like an okay shooter, not a great shooter, okay defender, not a great defender, but a guy who needs the ball or has in the past, likes to drive? How's that going to work on a team where there's not theoretically a lot of spacing because Barnes and Pirtle are not really shooting threats? But it looked really good for one night. He was awesome. He did everything well. It was interesting that he did it on the road because last year he basically played at an all-star level in Toronto and was like replacement level on the road. But he was fantastic in game 1, did everything right, and looked really good. And I also found it interesting that Darko Rajakovic really early on subbed out the 3 worst shooters in that starting lineup and threw in 3 of his best shooters on the team, Gradey Dick, Sandro Mamukelashvili, and Ochai Agbaji, for a different look and really powered up the offense. So it'll be interesting, all like the buttons he pushes all year. But for game 1, yeah, RJ Barrett was fantastic.
So coming off the bench last night was Gradey Dick, and another guy that had a really strong first performance of the season. 21 points, only shot 4 threes, but made 2 of them. Got to the free throw line a bunch. You know, we talk about how guys fit on this team. Have the Raptors maybe found a role here for Scotty, or Scott, not Scotty Barnes, but Gradey Dick as maybe the 6th man off the bench?
Well, it sure seems like it, and that's a role I thought would make sense for him for a while now, because you kind of, if he's starting, it exposes his defense and all of that sort of stuff. But if you bring him off the bench, he's going to be facing weaker opponents. He's going to be able to show more stuff. And I think he's he had a pretty troubling preseason opener, looked terrible, and since then, I mean, game 2, he was better, not great, but ever since the first 2 games, he's been really, really good. One of the best Raptors, and he looks like he's definitely leveled up, and that is huge for a team that needs one of those guys to just kind of power the bench, and he really fits in well with those guys. Really good chemistry with, sometimes they use Scotty Barnes with him on the second unit. He's got good chemistry with him. He's got with Mamukelashvili already seems to have some really nice chemistry as well, and that is a huge development. Like Gradey Dick panning out and being a really good sixth man is a big win for the Raptors. Maybe they had hoped he'd be more than that when they took him, I think 13th overall a few years ago, but there's no shame in being a really really good sixth man, and I think Grady's starting to prove that there's a good chance that he could be just that, because he seems to have gotten better everywhere, and he's really good off the ball, finding spots, finding openings. Obviously the jump shot is bread and butter, but he's just a really really smart player, and he gets after it too.
Well, strong starts to the season for the Raptors. We'll see if they can carry it over Friday night in their home opener against the Milwaukee Bucks. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. For Ryan Wolstat, I'm Rob Wong. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you on the next one.